So what really made the Attitude Era so iconic? Why did the PG era completely shift the tone of WWE? And are we truly witnessing a renaissance in modern wrestling, or is it just nostalgia talking? Let's break down the three most debated and defining eras in WWE history. Buckle up, because this is not just a comparison, it's a journey through blood, sweat, censorship, and creative rebirth. The Attitude Era wasn't just TV, it was rebellion on screen. It was the Monday Night Wars, the raw, unfiltered chaos where anything could happen and usually did. Stone Cold Steve Austin chugging beers and flipping off his boss wasn't just a moment, it was a revolution. The Rock didn't just cut promos, he became a cultural icon. DX brought the suck it era to millions of kids, and Mankind getting thrown off Hell in a Cell by The Undertaker wasn't a match. It was a symbol of how far WWE would go to shock the world. Back then, you had characters like Kane who set people on fire, Val Venis who got nearly castrated, and storylines that pushed the envelope every week. Vince McMahon became the ultimate villain, and people tuned in not just to see matches, but to feel something raw, unscripted, and dangerous. Ratings were through the roof, locker room morale was high, and competition with WCW made every week a battlefield. However, by the early 2000s, things began to shift. With advertisers pulling back and parent pressure rising, WWE had to evolve or die, and thus came the PG era, a drastic reset button on everything the Attitude Era stood for. Gone were the bloodbaths, chair shots to the skull, and edgy language. In came brightly colored merch, safe content, and the rise of John Cena, the PG superhero. Cena became the face of WWE, like Hogan was in the 80s. He spoke to kids, granted wishes, and wrestled clean matches, but not everyone loved it. Hardcore fans started booing Cena, chanting "Cena sucks" because they missed the grit. CM Punk's pipe bomb became the one moment that cracked open the PG bubble and gave fans a taste of what once was. But for all its creative tameness, the PG era was financially brilliant. WWE went public, expanded globally, signed mega deals, launched the WWE Network, and created an entirely new generation of fans. Plus, the rise of women's wrestling started here, with the Divas division slowly giving way to actual wrestling talent like AJ Lee, Paige, and eventually the Four Horsewomen. While NXT began its evolution under Triple H, giving us pure wrestling clinics and showcasing stars like Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Finn Balor, and Shinsuke Nakamura. But for all the growth, fans kept longing for something more real, more raw, more attitude, and that's where we arrive at today, the so-called WWE Renaissance Era. Starting in the late 2020s and peaking post Vince McMahon's retirement and Triple H's creative control, WWE began to feel alive again. The Bloodline storyline became the most layered and emotionally engaging arc in decades. Roman Reigns reinvented himself into an iconic tribal chief. Cody Rhodes returned to finish the story, and the Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, and even weekly Raws felt unpredictable. Again, CM Punk came back out of nowhere. Logan Paul shockingly delivered banger matches. Bad Bunny, Pat McAfee, and even non-wrestlers started outperforming full-timers. Matches got longer, promos felt less scripted, feuds like Sami Zayn versus Bloodline or Dominic Mysterio versus Rey got fans deeply invested. NXT rebranded into NXT 2.0, then found its balance again, and women's wrestling was now truly main eventing, with Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, and Charlotte Flair raising the bar. Even Triple H himself, behind the scenes in a suit, felt like the unsung hero guiding WWE back to credibility. The Renaissance Era is like a remix of Attitude and PG, with storytelling, wrestling, and shock value balanced perfectly. But which era truly stands above the rest? The Attitude Era had unmatched energy, cultural dominance, and locker room intensity. The PG era was financially golden, globalized WWE, and developed long-term stars in a stable environment. And the Renaissance Era is now creatively respected, crowd-approved, and feels like a genuine fan service revival. This is not just a timeline of WWE. This is a war between chaos, control, and creative freedom. From Stone Cold's beer truck to Cena's hustle, loyalty, respect to Roman's God mode entrance, we've seen it all. But it all comes down to what you value more: the unfiltered rage of Attitude, the polished empire of PG, or the passionate rebirth of the Renaissance. Tell us in the comments what your favorite era is, because in the world of wrestling, the past always fights the present to decide the future.